here we are, kind of on location for this week's Ask Ron at the Business Management Boot Camp here in our office in Jacksonville, Florida. Say hello, Ron.
Hello, Ron.
Very funny. Question number 1 is from Robert. He says, hello, Ron.
Doesn't say where Robert's from, huh?
No, it does not say.
Guys, please tell me what state you're in. Might truly
Make a
affect
difference.
the answer to your question.
Robert asks, do you feel it is okay to lease option a home in an HOA neighborhood with all the restrictions HOAs can have on homeowners?
I have several of them in HOA neighborhoods. In fact, I just sold 2 of them. Townhouses I've had for years. The problem is, make sure your HOA documents does not prohibit you from putting a tenant in the house, or the answer would be no. And also make sure those dues are tolerable, because today those darn dues are going up so fast they kill deals. I just sold a townhouse that I've had since, I don't know, 2012 maybe. When I started, I had a $230 a month dues, and even then that was high because it's a little cheap townhouse. Today it's $680 for the same dues. It just kind of kills the cash flow out of property. So I just listed it with a realtor and sold it, and that was one of the reasons. So yeah, it's not, you can do them in HOAs, but remember, better know what restrictions they have, and also know that their dues are probably going to go up going forward. But the good news is they're usually responsible for the outside of the property, for the roofs. They have, and they're usually safer and cleaner subdivisions than many. Some of them have, pools and tennis courts and meeting rooms and all of that, which is a selling factor when you're putting a tenant buyer in there. So it ain't like their HOA dues are not buying anything.
Okay. The next question is from Tony and Angie Stewart.
I kid them a lot. But guys, we really appreciate your questions coming in here, honestly. About time for me to see you back in a boot camp. In fact, where am I going?
Chicago.
I'm going to Chicago.
And that's not far from them.
I expect to see you in Chicago.
Yes, Tony and Angie.
At that live event. And I expect to see you talking about some deals that you're doing or have done when you get there as well.
All right, so they said, thanks for your answer last week concerning the down payment assistance program. In presenting this to tenant buyers, is it best that it is only offered at the time of the initial contract, or can it be an open-ended offer that they can take advantage of at any time during the agreement period?
Well, I've never done it any time other than when we're sitting at the meeting before they get the keys to the house and I formally accept them. There's nothing stopping you from going back anytime in the future and proposing it to them, I guess. So, yeah, I never even thought about doing that, to be honest.
So Tony and Angie's example is if they get raises on their job after the first year, for example, they can do it for their final year in the case of a 2-year term.
Of course, it ain't likely you're going to know they got raises.
True.
But, there's nothing stopping you from doing it. I mean, you're open to do it. In fact, maybe you've already put tenant buyers in the house and you weren't aware of it. Nothing stopping you from going back and proposing it to them now. You'll be doing them a favor if they ever buy the house.
All right, I have another question from Robert. Hello, Ron.
Hello, Robert.
I found a home that was closed down by the sheriff's office as it was used to make and sell drugs. The owners are in jail for a long time, and they want to eventually sell the home. Do you think this would be a home to purchase and rehab or move on to other homes?
I would absolutely pursue it. I've actually bought, not a lot, a few homes from people that are in jail, okay? What else are they gonna do with it? Especially if they're in there for a long time, it's gonna wind up going in foreclosure if it's got a mortgage on it, you know that. The fact that it was a drug house does not bother me, because the whole world will see that the house has changed hands and it has been renovated, and I would even disclose it, for crying out loud. I'd maybe have you turn it right up a little short disclosure. I mean, I don't think your buyer cares as long as they know it's not a drug house anymore and it's been renovated. It wouldn't stop me from buying it, let me put it that way. And the reason I'd be interested in it is because I'm gonna buy it cheap. I'm gonna buy it cheap because of that, because a lot of people, the things that cause people not to buy excite me if they're fixable, all right? And that was certainly fixable.
Okay, the last question, I think it's a question off of our social media. Does any portion of rent payments go toward the equity for the buyer in a lease option or a rent to own?
When I'm putting a tenant buyer in a house, they get absolutely no rent credit, period. Most of the time they don't even ask, but if they do ask, the answer is no. Okay. And I tell them, listen, if you want credit with your payments every month, you need to go get a loan, and then you get the benefit of that debt pay down every month. But as long as you're leasing it, no, there's no credit. So that means if I lease it to them for $300,000 a day, 3 years from now, or 2 years or whatever, they still owe me $300,000. Now that's not the way I buy, that's the way I sell. When I buy, it's going to be right in my lease agreement that my purchase price is the loan balance at the time of purchase. Therefore, it goes down every single month. And also, there's a little slide in my rental agreement to the seller that I get some monthly rent credit for every month that I pay in the rent. But even that is assuming they have equity above what they owe. If I'm leasing it for what they owe, I can't get rent credit. They don't have any equity to give me credit from. But if they got credit coming, I'm going to put a number in there, usually $200 a month. That's $200 a month. That reduces my price every month in addition to the amount that they're paying down on their principal every month. It's all just a little sentence that I've created over the years to put right in the agreement for you, which of course most people would never even dream of doing. But, we never buy like we sell, do we? That's my air conditioner.
All right. Well, that was the final question for this week's Ask Ron.
Okay. Now, you know the dates of the August summit?
August 7, 8, and 9.
Perfect. Write those dates down, guys and gals, and get registered for our August summit coming up, 3-day event. Haven't had one in a long time. I'm bringing in the best of the best for you to hear from. I'll be doing some teaching that I haven't done before. Very good use of your time. And it costs, the registration is free. So if you come to that summit and you're not happy, you let me know and I'm going to give you 5 times your money back. Not 1, 5 times your money. Just kidding. You ain't paying anything, you ain't getting anything back. But put it on your list because we don't have another one scheduled.
And it is virtual.
And it is virtual, of course. And anyway, when we do them, they're all different anyway.
All right.
See you next week.